A short analysis of Blessing by Imtiaz Dharker. Imtiaz Dharker. Imtiaz Dharker was born in Lahore, Pakistan in 1954. Dharker was brought up in Britain and Scotland and now lives in India. She grew up in a Muslim family in Glasgow and married a Hindu, Anil Dharker. She says that she enjoys the transition from one culture and country to another. She describes Mumbai as a city held up with string and sellotape. About the poem Blessing. The poem Blessing is found in her book Purdah, published in the year 1989. The poem is about the society that does not have water. The poem was written directly from a typical Mumbai slum scene in Dharavi. Where is Dharavi? It is in the outskirts of Mumbai, where millions of migrants have gathered from other parts of India. This place is not an official living area, and there is always a shortage of water in this place. The poem portrays an incident of a municipal pipe that bursts in the deprived slums of Mumbai and how people run with mugs and pots to collect the precious liquid of water. The poem captures the poverty of people live in Mumbai and how sacred drinking water is for these people. Structure of the poem Blessing. The poem consists of 4 stanzas of different lengths. There are 23 lines in the poem and the meter of the lines also varies, making it a free verse. The poem opens with a couplet followed by a quatrain. Let me read the poem first. Lines 1 to 6. The skin cracks like a pot. There never is enough water. Imagine the drip of it, the small splash, echo in a tin mug, the voice of a kindly God. The poem opens with a couplet that consists of 2 lines. The couplet opens with pa that emphasizes the whole theme of the poem. The skin cracks like a pot gives the reader an image of skin cracking, but not just the skin of a person, but also the skin of the earth. The skin is an important organ in human body. Without moisture from water, human skin might quickly dry and shrivel up and start to crack like dry earth. The word pod refers to a seed that opens in the hot weather. It shows how dry the environment is. Lack of water is a constant problem. World is always in a struggle to find water because the climate is so dry and hot. The second stanza is in quatrain, consists of 4 lines. In this stanza, the poet says there is no enough water. In such a dry situation, the poet imagines and asks the listener to imagine the dripping of water. The person describing the dripping water hasn't had a drink for months, just like a man dying of thirst in a desert. This dying man hallucinates a delicious drop of thirst-quenching water. The last line of the second stanza personifies the echoing splash of water as the voice of a kindly God. It suggests that the water seems even more precious and divine, and therefore something miraculous and deeply special and blessing. What kind of a person owns a tin mug? A rich man or a poor man? The reference to a tin mug implies that this person who is in need of water is very poor. Lines 7 to 11. Sometimes the sudden rush of fortune, the municipal pipe bursts, silver crashes to the ground and the floor has found a roar of tongues. In these lines, the poet describes the unexpected fortune like someone winning the jackpot on a slot machine. We are told that it is the public pipe that has been burst, which could either be a water pump that is available to everyone or maybe just a large water pipe that runs through the slum. As the precious water splashes onto the ground, the word rush could suggest that people are rushing around trying to save as much of it as they can. Silver crashes to the ground. What does it mean? The poet uses figurative language to compare the water to precious metal called silver. Like silver, water shines in the sun and crashes to the ground. As the water begins to flow and drain away, it finds the roar of tongue. It could be that the tongues are roaring with thirst, that people are merely shouting, and their combined voices constitute the roar of a crowd. Lines 11 to 23. From the hands, a congregation. Every man, woman, child for streets around Butson, with pots, brass, copper, aluminium, plastic buckets, frantic hands, and naked children screaming in the liquid sun, their highlights polished to perfection, flashing light as the blessing sings over their small bones. In these lines, the word congregation refers to a group of people assembled to worship in church. The process of saving the spilling water is a kind of religious ritual which emphasizes the precious nature of the water. Water is a gift from God. An act of collecting should bear some resemblance to a religious ritual. Thus, there is a congregation of people. Every man, woman, child from the streets around the broken pipe gather there with their buckets. These people get some chance to save free water, so they use cheap containers like brass, aluminium, plastic buckets, and copper to save water. There is no order or line, as this was an unexpected rush of water. People run with frantic hands to catch as much as water as they can, ignoring the other. The children who are naked are the ones who enjoy the most. These children are screaming as the water pours over them. The poet calls it as liquid sand, and it is like gold polished to perfection. It is no doubt the water falling over the small bones is truly a blessing for the ones who get to see very little water every day in their lives. What do you understand from the poem? Water, the essential substance for sustaining all life on this planet. Lacking water can cause big problems to us humans. When troubles reach us, we tend to look to God for His help. And this is also the case of water, as it could be perceived as a blessing. The poem Blessing by Imtiaz Dharker suggests that in places where water is needed, people will jump out and kiss even a single drop of water as if it were a blessing from God Himself. Thus, the poem focuses on the theme of poverty and importance of water. Thank you.